Now we continue with topic 4 on two-way selections. Okay, two-way selections, the algorithm examples here. While cooking, you may decide the following. Okay, for example, if we have brown sugar, then use brown sugar. Else, use white sugar. Okay, so what is the difference between a one-way if selections and a two-way selections? One way, we only cater about when it is true. Okay, but in the two-way selections, we will also cater if it is not true. So what action to be taken if it is not true? Okay, so in this case, if it is true, we say that if we have brown sugar, then use brown sugar. Else, what if I didn't have brown sugar, so use white sugar? Means that it also indicate the actions if it is false. So in this case, if it's false, then use white sugar. But if you're using one way, so you didn't indicate anything if it is false. Similarly, a payroll program might include a statement such as, if our work is more than 40, then calculate regular pay and overtime. Okay, else calculate regular pay. Okay, so means that in this case it says that if your hour work is more than 40, you will also be given overtime pay. Otherwise means that it's less than 40. Okay, else what means what? This is more. Our work is greater than 40. Else what means what? Else what means hours work less than 40. So if it less than 40, if it is less than 40, you will be only pay for regular pay without overtime. Okay, so these are examples of two-way. Okay, two-way selection takes the forms. This is the syntax for two-way. So the first one is the same. You have an if statement here. You have an if, then expressions. But now you add some more else. Else means otherwise. Okay, else means if the condition is false, what would you do? So another statement here. Okay, so you will tell them if it's false, what to do. If expression is true, statement 1 is executed, otherwise statement 2 is executed. Statement 1 and statement 2 are any C++ statement, else is a reserved word. Okay, again, statement 1, statement 2 is any C++ statement. It can be C out, it can be C in, it can be a formula. It can be more than one statement. Okay, remember, if you have more than one statement inside here, you need to put it in bracket. The same as in the else statement. If you have more statement in the else, you want to print some more, then you put in the curly bracket. Why? Because if you only you didn't put your curly bracket and down here you have a 2 or 3 statement, the program will only read the first one. I repeat, the program will only read the first one. So if you want the program to read all the statement under the if, you need to put it inside curly brackets. So it becomes blocks of statement. Okay, else is a reserved word. So reserved word, you cannot use it anywhere except for this if-else statement. You cannot use it for other purpose like declaring variables or declaring constants. Okay, this is the examples of the flowchart. Same here, we have conditions under diamond. So you put the condition here, test score greater than 80 or equals. True, what would you like to do? The action taken is to print, work harder. But if the test score is less than 80, what you need to do is you are an A student. Okay, test score is greater. Test score is greater or equals to 80. If it is yes, I think this the flowchart is wrong way around. Logically is wrong way around. Supposedly, if your test score is greater than 80, If it is true, then you would print you are a student. So here is true. Here is false. Means that if you less than 80, means that you print the C out, work harder. Yeah? It's the wrong way around. Okay, now how to write the C++ code? Okay, you need to declare your test score. So test score, again, you need to get the input, right? Either by using a cin or you just type it in here. Okay, and then you type the test score is greater or equals to 80, so you are a student. Else, you just add this one. Previously, we only have else part. Now you have else part. See out, work harder. So this statement is when test score is less than 80. But on the else part, you don't need an expressions because else will indicate otherwise. Otherwise from the first expressions here. So you don't need to put any expressions on it. Okay. Consider the following statement. Okay. If hours is greater than 40, so this is the formula to calculate the wages. So wage 40 times rate plus 1.5 times rate times hour minus 40. So this is the formula. But else means what? Else means hours is less than 40. So, but you don't have to write it less than. It is understood by the program when they see else will mean else from this one. Okay, so else means hour less than 40. So what action you want to take? If it is less, then I say how to calculate the wages is hour times rate. This is the formula. But if the hour is more than 40, this is how to calculate the formula. This is how to calculate it. So, can you see the difference when you want to do a calculations for overtime maybe? Okay, for people with a normal working hour and for people with overtime, the calculation is different. Then you can use the two-way if statements. Another examples. The following statements show an examples of a syntax error. If hour is greater than 40, which is 40 times blah blah blah. Okay, else which is hour times rate. So what would be the syntax error here? If you can see, there is a semicolon at the end of the if statement. As I said in the previous lecture, you cannot put semicolon after the if statement. Okay, end of if statement. So the statement in line 2 separate the else clause from the if statement. Okay, so means that you cannot check for the else part because you already close it here. Okay, so that is else is all by itself. Okay, all by itself because there is no standalone else statement in C++. This could generate a syntax error. Okay, when you already put a semicolon after this is means that that is the end of the statement. So else down here will not be able to retrieve the expressions here to check for what is the false part of this statement. So cannot. So you don't put semicolon because semicolon will indicate the end of the if statement. When this is the end of statement, this else will not be executed because it cannot find what is the expressions for the if. Okay, remember that. Okay. Next is a compound statement. Use braces if the or else block has multiple statements. This is what I mentioned previously. If you want to have more statements, say one statement, two statements, then put curly bracket. So this is what we call as compound statement. So we call this as a block. This is the else block. So you have more statement here, two statements here. So put it in the curly bracket. You can have more. It is unlimited. Okay, it's unlimited as long as it is within the curly bracket. So this is the style. Okay. If what is the Boolean expressions? Boolean is a greater than, less than, not equals. Okay, else what? Okay, so you can put the style here is just the curly bracket. Okay, the curly bracket here. This curly bracket, you put it on the top, you also can. Okay, else put it on the top also can. Doesn't matter. Either way. Yeah, either way. You can put it either on the top or the next line. Okay, the next video I will discuss on the nested if statements. Thank you.